Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's go for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow.
What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video, where today we're going to be doing my live stream of Manchester City's activity on transfer deadline day, with Manchester City closing in on their 5th January transfer. This comes after Manchester City have already brought in Juma Bar from Spain, and also brought him in from Sierra Leone in that strange co-transfer. We've also seen Manchester City bring in Omar Marmoush from Eintracht Frankfurt. We've seen Kodia Husanov come in from France, and we've also signed Vita Hayes from Brazil. But it's Manchester City looking at Portugal today, more specifically Nico Gonzalez of FC Porto, with a release clause of 60 million euros. Manchester City have apparently activated that release clause this afternoon. Manchester City closing in on their 5th January, even though it's February, but January transfer signing. So, before I do crack on with this live stream, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, please do leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 300 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the live chat. Nico Gonzalez, what are your thoughts? Do go and let me know in the live chat. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. They are in the description. I'm going to cut that off right here. We've just had some breaking news come in the last few seconds. 1 second, please bear with me on here whilst I read this. This is transfer deadline day for you guys. We're going with exclusives from all over the place. So we've heard from I've had to cut the intro there. We've heard coming in from sources in Portugal, CNN in Portugal, who have said that Manchester City are going to be activating that release clause for Nico Gonzalez to become a Manchester City player. And according to Las Voz de Galicia over in Spain, they have said that Manchester City and FC Porto have practically completed an agreement for Nico Gonzalez to finalise a deal worth 60 million euros in the next few hours. The midfielder set to sign for Manchester City and is going to be signing on a 5-year contract. How's that for an exclusive that's literally just come out in the last 60 seconds? Manchester City closing in on signing Nico Gonzalez from FC Porto. So the question is, and I think this is very much a billionaire, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, you're spot on. We're waiting for the here we go to come in from Fabrizio Romano. But the big question here is now with this deal, we're facing the facts that there's 9 hours left of the transfer window. Porto from Manchester is roughly 2 to 2.5 hours. We do have a base in London if we do want to fly Nico Gonzalez over in a shorter space of time to bring him over to Man City's offices in London. That flight will be around 30 minutes shorter than a flight would be to Manchester. There's still more than enough time that obviously news comes out. These sources aren't going to be hearing about them until minutes to hours after they've already happened. So if that is the case, then we could be seeing Nico Gonzalez already in the air flying to Manchester. But what I reckon might be more likely with the short space of time would be Man City would have a small team ready for word to come in from Manchester City to fly that small team over to Porto to complete that deal. He will need to complete his medical, will have to be registered, and also sign his contract with all the paperwork submitted. It doesn't have to be accepted, just submitted by the 11 p.m. deadline. A very tight squeeze. I'm really unsure, with Man City releasing the clause for Nico Gonzalez, why we didn't do this yesterday. I know we had the game against Arsenal, but the ones that are in charge of Man City's transfer activity, this could have and should have been sorted sooner rather than leaving this so late, because there is a chance, albeit maybe quite slim, but there is a chance that the deal potentially could collapse, which gives Man City no time at all to bringing anybody else. So it is very much a Nico Gonzalez or bust if anything does go wrong, including things like failing a medical or City not submitting the paperwork on time, things like that. So you want to give yourself as long as possible, and Man City will have had their eyes on Nico Gonzalez for a while. I'm going to presume that this word's come in from Hugo Viana because he's going to be joining Man City later in the week. That's what is the fact. Is what's going to happen. So that's what we have to wait on. And I presume that he's given this the thumbs up for Manchester City to make the move for Nico Gonzalez. Now I'm just having a read very quickly on Twitter. Pedro Almeida, sometimes reliable, sometimes not, already teased with some emojis with an egg timer and a Spanish flag along with the sky blue colour hinting at this transfer here. So what we're waiting on here now is just more official confirmation to come in for this transfer. So Fabrizio Romano in the last minute. I need to share my screen, guys. We need to have a look at this. We really do. We need to have a good look at this. So let's have a good look at this. If this has worked how I think it should have worked, I will move me across here, and hopefully you guys can now see my screen. I do hope. Do let me know. Hopefully that is the case. So, Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester City have got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano, and that's key. That's crucial. Fabrizio Romano works with agents, so he's received word from the entourage of Nico Gonzalez to confirm that this transfer is going to go ahead. So it says, here we go, that is what we've been looking for. New midfielder for Pep Guardiola, as Man City will pay the same amount as the release clause, 60 million euros. They're just going to do it in a different structure. So that means it's not a straight up 60 million euro fee that's being paid by Manchester City. Manchester City are going to be paying a smaller fee with bonuses, taking that deal up to 60 million euros. So it could be 50 million euros with 10 million euros with add-ons. It could be 55 million euros with 5 million add-ons. And I'll be honest, that latter's probably the more realistic option here. And Nico is now going to be travelling for his medical to become a Manchester City player and contract signing very soon. Exclusive story confirmed with Nico Gonzalez becoming a Manchester City player. As you can see from the tweet just 2 minutes ago, 2:06 p.m. It's now 2:09, so 3 minutes ago, we are going to see this man right here, Nico Gonzalez, become a Manchester City player. And that is massive. Absolutely massive. We are finally going to be signing a central defensive midfielder. There is our exclusive right there, right now. Thoughts, guys? Nico Gonzalez. It looks like he's going to be a Manchester City player. 60 million euros. We're looking at what? Let's have a get the very latest, as of right now, currency converter. Let's see the exact amount. 60 million euros. It's 1.2 euros to the pound. Takes us to £49.82 million. £50 million rounding that up. £50 million. Man City are signing a defensive midfielder. We're signing a defensive midfielder, guys. We are signing a defensive midfielder. I feel like we all need to just take a moment to really absorb that Manchester City are bringing in, finally, a defensive midfielder. And Nico Gonzalez is a good player. Really good with his ball distribution. Let's not forget, he's a player that can do the number 6 and number 8 role. He is exactly what Manchester City need. He can complement Rodri. He can also alternate with Rodri. And that is exactly what we're looking for. Isham, thanks for tuning in, asking a very important question there. Can he play against Real Madrid? He can play for against Real Madrid as long as Manchester City make him part of the squad. We're allowed to add 3 new signings to our squad. I am going to presume that more than likely one of the new signings isn't going to be registered, and I reckon that new signing is probably going to be Vita Hayes because he's only 18 years old. I can't see him featuring all that much in the Champions League. So Vita Hayes, I don't think, will be registered by Manchester City, but I do think that Nico Gonzalez will, along with Omar Marmoush and Kodia Husinov. So I reckon it'll be Vita Hayes that will be the player that misses out for Manchester City. It's a shame that you can only add 3 new signings. Manchester City have done some business. Obviously, Jacob Wright's been on the bench for Manchester City in the Champions League. I don't think he's been registered, but because he's under the age of 21 and homegrown, there's different rules with teenagers. I'm almost certain Vita Hayes will not be available. I think he'll be the player that misses out here. It's complicated. You know, it can't be a transfer involving Manchester City unless it's complicated. We can't. It can't happen. But yeah, we're adding a player. That's awesome news. I really do think that's awesome news. This is the news that we've been looking for, the breakthrough. I just don't understand why it's taken Manchester City so long to be able to do this. I can't help but feel like this should have been done yesterday. It could even have been done on Saturday because these links came out at the end of last week. We could have had this agreement in place. We could have had Nico Gonzalez travelling to Manchester at some point yesterday, or even travelling to Manchester this morning. For him to arrive this morning, for him to be doing his medical, he'd be probably nearly finished with his medical by now if Manchester City hadn't been so slow. And I think Man City have been quite slow with securing this deal because you're involving a release clause. We're not negotiating, it's a release clause. I don't think it's that complicated for us to go on the blower with FC Porto and say, look, 60 million euros, any chance that we're able to negotiate this deal? They say, no. Okay, if it's to be his release clause, can we do it in clauses? They're going to say, maybe. We want 55 plus 5 million. Man City can say 50 plus 10. They can come back and say 53 and 7, etc., etc. And you work through your negotiations and you meet the release clause that way. Obviously, it was a little more complicated. It was exploring the situation as to Barcelona having a whopping 40% sell-on clause. So Barcelona are going to get 40% of that £50 million, which is £20 million. But I can't help but feel like this should have been done much sooner from Manchester City. And again, he can travel to Manchester, but I'm not ruling out Man City flying over to him and getting things sorted in Portugal just to try and eliminate any further problems, because medicals can be done in other countries. I can't remember who the transfer was, but I'm fairly sure Manchester City completed a transfer for one of our South American players by sending a delegated team from the UK to Brazil or somewhere in South, might be one of the Argentinian players, and completing the medical and all the contracts and everything done in South America rather than in the UK. To me, I would have thought, I reckon this word's coming of the release clause being met. I reckon we're a couple of hours behind. I reckon Man City have sorted this a couple of hours ago. I think everything's now been ironed out, and I think the representatives, probably the agent, who I do believe Nico Gonzalez's agent, I did hear rumours saying it was Jorge Mendes. If it is Jorge Mendes, then he's given word to Fabrizio Romano for him to go put out the news there that here we go, the transfer's going to happen. So this is the huge hurdle that City needed to get over the line. They've managed to get it over the line, which is fantastic news. So the next question is, where's this going to be in terms of the medical? How long is the medical going to take? Because again, just going off memory, and I'm going to presume that this is still the case, medicals are done in two parts. One part of the medical has to be done today. The other part can be done afterwards. Man City have to meet the formalities of that first part of the medical to then exchange the contracts, register the player, and submit their paperwork to the Premier League. I think UEFA's deadline when it comes to the Champions League is going to be later on this week, mainly due to the different transfer deadline days across the European League. So they give them enough time for everybody's windows to close before then they ask for everybody to be registered. So I reckon later on this week we will hear more about potentially other players leaving clubs. So this is all to do with the Premier League today. It's all to do with a race against time to ensure that Nico Gonzalez is registered, paperwork submitted, and the medical completed. That's the last bits of the hurdles for these transfers. It's still a race against time, as I said. I'm not expecting it to collapse. I'm 95 to 5% certain now that this happens for Manchester City today, which I think is brilliant news. We've just got to iron out the formalities and make sure that ahead of time we're getting everything sorted. That's what we need to make sure to happen here. I'm not expecting Man City to do any more business. I think the only other bit of business we might get done today will be an outgoing with Jacob Wright. I'm expecting Jacob Wright to become a Swansea City player. That will be on loan with an obligation to buy as long as Swansea City stay in the Championship. And that will be an obligation to buy. I imagine City will include a sell-on fee. I'm not 100% they'll put a buyback clause on that, and I think that's a bit of a shame. I'd like that to be the case, but we will have to wait and see. In terms of Nico O'Reilly, Chelsea have ended their interest. Man City not interested in that sale, so I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Fireborn, I'm disappointed in it as well. I am. But he's not going to get the game time that he's looking for at City right now, so I'd say that it's a good time for him to leave, and the Championship will be good experience for him. I imagine it's probably going to take him 18, maybe even 2 years or so for him to adapt and apply himself in the Championship. I would like to see him do really well. I would have preferred for Jacob Wright to have spent the whole season around the City first team squad and assess again in the summer, like with Nico O'Reilly. If Nico O'Reilly's not getting any game time for City, then he's had his year experience around the first team squad. He needs to get experience in a competitive team, in a competitive league. And that's when you start to seek out either a loan signing or you seek out a permanent transfer with the correct clauses in, buyback clause, sell-on fees, things like that. So we'll see. I'm not expecting Cambiaso today. I think that was dismissed pretty early on today, that Man City aren't working on Cambiaso. I mean, to be honest, I think that would be a huge... I mean, I'm going to be super busy. like really busy if we're bringing in Cambiaso as well today. I'm not expecting Cambiaso. Word is City are happy to wait till the summer. I've already done my transfer update, giving my thoughts on that. But my stance is still the same. Not very happy about it. Not very happy about that. No Cambiaso today as far as I'm aware. I'm not very happy about that. Kyle Walker's left. We're a fullback short. Matheus Nunes can do a job against teams that are mediocre. I don't think he can do a job against the biggest and best teams in the Premier League and in Europe when it comes to, Real Madrid, for example, that we've got in the Champions League. Matheus Nunes isn't going to cut it. Rico Lewis isn't going to cut it. And Man City have to be brutally honest with themselves. There's always been pending issues here. I want to give Man City's window a 10 out of 10, and City have done so much business in this window, and getting Nico Gonzalez over the line will be a tremendous bit of business that Man City could do. An incredible bit of business. I'd be so happy to add in a defensive midfielder and a quality attacker, a contingency for Erling Haaland and Omar Marmoush, and a couple of new young lads, young centre-backs to allow us to rotate. Needed signings. But if you're letting a fullback leave, we need to bring in a fullback. And if Cambiaso's the player that we want and we're going to be making that move in the summer, forget the summer. Do it right now. Get it done. Get it dusted. Get it all sorted. Throw it all out there. Spend the money. Make the transfers happen. Leave nothing to chance. Doing 80% of what we need to do in this window and not doing the other 20%, well, that 20% could be the difference between 4th and 5th. Not bringing a fullback in. I think it should have happened. I think we're still a central midfielder short. Don't think City are going to address that in this window. I'd be very surprised. I mean, realistically, Douglas Luiz on loan with an option to buy. I'm not hearing any word of that though, so I don't think that is the case. Adrian saying Gonzalez will be ready to travel. City are using private jet to whisk him to Manchester. Anyone know if that's the fact? I've got a load of time available today. I'm more than happy to do a plain watch-along of Man City's newest recruit. If anyone can give me any information to go on to Flight Radar. If anyone does have any information. Any information, I'll let the chat do some work here. Find out the information. If you can feed the information to me, either in the chat or a direct message on Twitter or what's not. Then please just let me know, and I will see. I'll see what is going to happen there. But fact remains, Nico Gonzalez will be a Manchester City player, it seems, which I am buzzing, absolutely buzzing about. So, Nico Gonzalez, here we go. Please, guys, leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 200 likes. We're more than halfway there, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Got over 350 people in the room, so if everybody leaves a thumbs up, we smash past my like goal. That would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here, guys. That would be great. And don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. SofaScore are going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores, along with the latest match information, the match statistics, and so much more. So please do go and check it out. Links and details there in the description, or you can use the link in the live chat, or you can go and check out the QR code on screen. That would be much appreciated. I'm going to roll my promo video, and then we'll speak about some more transfers. And a big thank you to SofaScore for sponsoring this live stream. That would be much appreciated. Callum, thank you for tuning in, giving me an update. Says the possibility is now he is saying goodbye to all his Porto teammates in Rio Ave. And then he'll be flying to Manchester. So, flight time. Porto to Manchester. Flight time. Yeah, 2.5 hour. So we're looking at, it'll be about 2.5 hours. So I'm going to presume Fabrizio Romano has got word from the representatives of Nico Gonzalez saying it's all done and dusted. So that's them saying everything's been ironed out and done. So I imagine within the next hour or so, he will pack all his stuff up, make sure he's got all his essentials, and he'll travel over to Manchester. So I imagine in the next hour or two, he will be on a plane travelling to Manchester. So we're talking 3-4 o'clock. 2.5 hours on top of that means he might get into Manchester for around 5-6 o'clock. Get him over to the academy. Get the first part of the medical done, which I do believe takes a couple of hours. Get all the paperwork sorted. Get him to sign the contract and get the pictures all done. It can be done. It can be done as long as they act quick. It can be done. As long as the traffic on the M60 ring road around Manchester is not too busy delaying things, of course. Then it's ready. Flight info. We need information. We need more info. It's great having the reliability of these sources. What I like are the sources that I've not heard of, giving us the real information. That's the stuff we want. So Record in Portugal have said that Nico Gonzalez has left the FC Porto training camp. He's not playing against Rio Ave tonight. I think that's pretty obvious. Still waiting on any further information. I want flight information. I want to know where this is taking place. These are the exciting parts of the transfer, the real details. Zubair, thanks for keeping me up to date there. There's not going to be a right back, I'm afraid, today. There isn't going to be a right back. Not unless Chicky's cooking something right now, which I don't think so. I think this is Chicky's farewell. Fabrizio Romano live right now, giving the latest information. We need flight information. That's the questions now. Big stuff from Manchester City. Real big stuff. It'll be a good sign. He's a good player. Really good with his ball distribution. He's a good passer of the football. Pep Guardiola will really like Nico Gonzalez. He'll be a player. JSGC here is trying to do trying to multitask. JSGC cannot multitask. I'm trying my hardest to multitask, but I can't multitask. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just having a look at some of the other deals that are knocking around right now. I'm also checking out Flight Radar 24, see if there's any private jets. So just bear with me. I mean, something will appear. Has to if he's moving across. Scott, it's a good shout. Medical at Girona. It's a good shout. What's the flight time from Porto to Barcelona? Like, not even an hour. I mean, City could if they were really prepared, which I don't know if they are or not. But if they were really prepared, you would have a team in Portugal this morning ready to get to the nearest medical facility and do the medical, and then bring him to Manchester. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Jean, I'm not going to go as far to say I'm an aviation geek. I'm not going to go that far. I've been on a lot of flights and I know my way around a plane. But I'm not You know, all them people that start whacking off all the flight numbers and all the bits of details about, oh, it's this, it's an A321 and things like that. I don't go that far. Giving you the details. Not yet, anyway. I turned 30 in July. When I get 30 years old, maybe I might get there. I am sad enough to go on Flight Radar and watch a flight come to Manchester because, quite frankly, it's just bloody entertaining. I remember doing Ilkay Gundogan's in the summer, and it's one of my favourite streams that I've ever done. Ishan, thank you. Not quite 30 and a half, 29 and a half. Let's not add a year on. We're losing years already. Let's not add more on. We've not hit 30 yet. We're still in the 20s. We're still there. I will get there, just not right now. Still a few months away yet. We've still got, what, 5 months and 2 weeks. We're in the late 20s. Yeah, we are. We're in the late 20s. We're in the late 20s. Anyway, I'm just trying to see if there's any flight information. I don't see anything knocking around right now. Let me see what's happening at Porto Airport. I tell you, if I see a little plane destination NA, we are tracking that, and we're doing it in 3D as well. That Ilkay Gundogan stream was legendary, so it looked quite quiet at the moment in Porto. They've got a couple of flights on at the Mo. This is the one we're waiting on. Are FC Porto at home or away today? They're away at Rio Ave. Where's that? One second, guys. I'll share my screen again. We'll see what we're dealing with. Give me 2 minutes. Right, we'll see what we're dealing with. So, Rio Ave Football Club. Where's that? In Portugal. Oh, it's not too far. Oh, it's like a derby, isn't it? Porto's just here. In fact, I think... oh, look, see? So this is Porto Airport here. Porto's airport. And Rio Ave is just down the road, so it will be from the airport. So we've got Flight Radar. It's quiet. What have we got? Bristol. Ryanair flights landed. And Porto to... Hey, here we go. If he wants to look good not using a private plane and he wants to go to Girona, maybe he's on this Vueling airline Porto to Barcelona. Scheduled to land at 5:20 p.m. Don't see any private jets knocking around just yet. But yeah, you never know. You never know. We'll see. Right. Don't know if we've got any more info on that. We will see. I'm gonna presume that he's gonna fly. I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything else. Hey, this is a private jet. It's going to Villa de Cruz, not going to Oporto. I don't know where that is. Another little... Oh, it's going in the opposite way. What's going on over here? Lanzarote to London. That's a depressing flight, isn't it? I bet the weather's lovely in Lanzarote. Ugh, going to London. No, thank you. Anyway, let's have a look what's happening on Sky Sports with the other transfers. Accept. And let's have a look then. What's going on? Premier League done deals. Is Gonzalez a natural fit for Manchester City? I think he's a natural fit. He's going to suit Pep Guardiola down to the ground. Okay, Sky Sports News. They're 20 minutes behind where we are. Moving closer to a deal. Nothing confirmed yet. Moves heading in a positive direction. Because they can't fully commit. We're fully committing here. What's that? Is that Ishan says MI6007. James Bond on his way. Love that. Having a read through the chat. I'm having to do it on my phone, but I don't think there's I think personally we've not got a tracker on Nico Gonzalez, but I still think he's in Portugal. I don't think he's in the air. I don't see any if he were moving across, he'd be he wouldn't be out of the. Where's this come from? Funchal to Jersey. It'll be a similar plane to this. Nah. No. JSGC exclusive. We're going to Manchester Airport. Surely someone's streaming from Manchester Airport. No? See the flight land? It looks quiet in the Portuguese airspace. That is not good news. We want it to be busy. I want to see something happening. Manchester United expected to sign an attacker before the deadline. I don't know what business United are doing. This is funny. Matthias Tell. I like this. Rejected a £50 million transfer to Spurs. And he's flying to the UK. Ahead of a move to Spurs. How embarrassing. The structure of the deal still being negotiated between the clubs. He's rejected them. How can you be happy with that? How can you be happy if a player said no and now the player says yeah? It's a bit underwhelming for a signing. Oh, there's a new post. Man United have let their best striker go, Marcus Rashford. But he doesn't work hard. He doesn't train very well and doesn't really deserve his place. That's why he's gone to Aston Villa. And Unai Emery doesn't put up with lazy players. So, yeah. Evan Ferguson signed for West Ham. Is that a loan deal? Yeah, straight loan deal till the end of the season. Brighton are receiving a significant loan fee. And West Ham are going to be covering his wages. There we go. Raymond Echeverry's at the under-20s Copa America. Until Argentina are knocked out or they go on to win the competition, until that competition's done and dusted with the involvement of Argentina, he won't be playing for Manchester City. It ends later in this month, actually, that. So should see Echeverry at some point later in the month. Again, he's going to be a player that stays around the first team. He'll get some minutes. I'm not too sure how many starts he'll be getting. We'll wait and see. Watford have signed left-back Caleb Wiley on loan for the remainder of the season. So the first half of the campaign on loan with Strasbourg. There we go. Right, any more developments on flights? I can't imagine he's on a Ryanair flight. Porto to Barcelona is now set off. 901 kilometres it's got to go to. Porto to Manchester. There you go. He's budget airlines. Doesn't need private airlines. Just needs to be in Manchester as quickly as possible. He's on that Ryanair flight. Right, this is interesting. So this has just come out. 2:15. Scheduled 4:45. So if that's just left, then it's approximately estimated to come in at 4:42. So as I said, yeah, I reckon 5 p.m. if he's to leave very soon, depending on where he's up to. Fabrizio's just tweeted out. Let's have a look at Twitter. There we go. Nico Gonzalez set to travel after agreement reached between Man City and Porto for his move worth €60 million. Payment terms and deal structure have been agreed after first contact, so everything's now agreed and done and dusted. We've had the here we go. He's set to travel. Is he on this Ryanair flight? I tell you what, imagine, guys, he is on that Ryanair flight. Do you reckon George Mendes is penny pinching and he's like, not purchased seats, so... Nico Gonzalez is in 10B and George Mendes is in 23C. Imagine that, guys. That'd be funny. That would make me laugh. City have got the filming crew at Manchester Airport and his agent's stepping off at the back of the plane and he's stepping off at the front. That would be brilliant. That would be transfer gold. That would be sensational. Absolutely brilliant. Matty, enjoying his meal. He's got to buy it first. Air hostess is coming round with a trolley. Anything from the trolley? What do you reckon he'd go for? I reckon, he might be on a Coca-Cola Zero like me. Anything from the duty free? Buying himself some Hugo Boss aftershave or something. Oh, man. It can't be on that Ryanair flight. That'd be brilliant. That would be absolutely amazing. What's this? What's that? 12,400 feet. Yeah. I just have a look at what's popular. Transfer deadline day. These are always going to be popular. What's this one? NA to NA. Where's that? Is that Berlin? Yeah, Berlin. Not sure why people are tracking that. Why it's so popular. We've got one popular in Germany as well. Oh my word! What's happening here? What's going on here? I see why people are tracking that. My word! Imagine being on that flight. What's going on there? Oh, fantastic. What else is popular? Copenhagen to Dubai. Rotterdam. Angry One. What's Angry One? Oh, this is entertaining, this guys. Airport disruptions. A lot of disruption going on in Kota Kinabalu. I don't see anything involving Porto or anything going to Manchester as of yet. So let's work our way back across to Portugal. I don't see anything yet. Again, I'll just keep my eyes on. Has Fabron put anything else out? What else is being worked out? Today must be so busy for Fabrizio. Really busy. Let's see the flight tracking for Matthias Tell. Just had breaking news that Matthias Tell has landed at Farnborough Airport. I wonder if the flight's still on here. Let's get to Farnborough. JSGC now testing his knowledge. Farnborough. Where's Farnborough? Stansted's there. Is it further up? Where's Farnborough? Farnborough Airport. Show me on the map. It's all the way down here. Down in Kent. Or Kent Way near Woking. No, it looks like it's off. I tell you what, that's not an easy trek to North London. Work your way around the M25. Some stretch, that. Anyway, there we go. Don't think there's any more news involving Nico Gonzalez as of yet. We will refresh. Very busy for Fabrizio. Yeah, no, nothing. Has anyone got any information for the flights? Am I missing something? What's Pete saying? Good for EFL stuff, Pete O'Rourke. A lot of the stuff where I get Man City are sending a player out on loan, or for example, into the EFL comes through Pete O'Rourke. Good source, actually. Go and check him out if you haven't done so. My geography is bad. Nowhere near Kent. Farnborough. Let's have a look. Hampshire. What's the border? I mean, where's the border for Kent then? Kent's like over here somewhere. Is it not? Is Guildford then in Kent? That's the question. Is Guildford in Kent? In Kent. Guildford. Town, borough and district. Is it in Surrey? That is the question. It's in Surrey. So we've got to keep going further south to get to Kent. Over here. Canterbury's definitely in Kent. Call my geography teacher. I mean, to be fair, there's that many counties. Well, I mean, JSGC's never touched this part of the UK. Where's the further? I've been along the south coast here. It's quite nice along the south coast here. There's fuck all in this area of the country. Literally nothing. Driven through it once through the M23 to work your way into London. It's literally trees. Literally trees. Now you want my geography? Work our way up here, northwest, where I am. I know all about here. Tell you everything about here. So there's a plane, gets north of Stoke-on-Trent over the Peak District. Working our way, over Derbyshire, through South Yorkshire, etc., etc. Start landing towards Manchester. I'll tell you all about that. I know all about that. Welcome, Isaac. Much appreciated. Do hope you're well. Do hope everybody's well. Actually, it's tuning in. I don't believe there's too much happening anyway at Porto. What have we got? Istanbul. Got Tap. Going to Sao Paulo. And we've got Sevilla coming into the room from Porto from Ryanair. It doesn't look like there's anything knocking around in terms of private jets just yet. Nothing yet. It's coming though. It is coming. Got Manchester to Tenerife with EasyJet flying past. It's a fair stretch to the Canary Islands, even past Portugal. Canary Islands all the way down off the Moroccan coast. So still fair stretch. Got to go all the way over there yet. There we go. I know I need to keep an eye on the smaller planes. The only reason I'm not keeping an eye on the smaller planes is because there isn't any. The only one we've got is this private jet here, but it's just circling around of no particular importance to us. So we've got nothing going on, guys. We're going to go back onto the transfer centre, see what else is happening on deadline day. There's got to be stuff happening. There's got to be stuff they're out there. What have we got here? Wolves and Leicester exploring a Cody Dawson swap. So Wolves and Leicester exploring a possible swap deal between Connor Cody and Craig Dawson. Exploring being the key word. Will that happen? Do Ipswich need more signings to beat the drop? Potentially. I did say at the beginning of the season, though, I think the 3 promoted teams are the 3 that go down again, back-to-back seasons of that. So, yeah. How are we doing on the likes anyway, guys? What are we on now? Nearly on 200. It's brilliant. We nearly hit the like goal. So, please do leave a thumbs up, guys. That would be much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you are new around here. That would be great. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. And a big thank you there to SofaScore for sponsoring today's video. Do go and check them out. Well, we're not quite big enough to get today's video brought to you by Airbus, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway. Not yet, anyway. Still waiting on more info. SofaScore's a cracking app, to be fair. I'm very, to be fair, when it comes to sponsors, I'm very picky. You know, the sponsor has to be right for all parties involved. And SofaScore is a brilliant app. So I'm more than happy to promote SofaScore because genuinely I know that it's a really good app that's free. So it's worthwhile getting and always worthwhile just seeing if, you know, if you like it or not. You know, if you don't like it, get rid of it. It's what I would do. But yeah, genuinely, I do enjoy using SofaScore. I really like that it's much more interactive than many of the other scores apps. And I absolutely love that so many of the apps are just limited to football. Because what I really like about SofaScore is I'm a huge cricket fan. So for me to check scores in football and in cricket normally requires 2 different apps. But now I don't have to use 2 different apps. I literally just navigate through to the cricket section of the app and I can check the cricket scores. And it's pretty damn up to date as well. So, yeah. I like SofaScore. Decent app. Decent app. I like that they help support my content as well. So, they're legendary, SofaScore. Really like SofaScore. I don't think there's too much else happening, guys. I mean, I could end the live stream here, and it gives me a bit more time now to get all my other content prepared for you guys, including another transfer update. I don't want to miss a potential flight watch, or at least the flight taking off, knowing that he's on his way to Manchester. It's the big news that I want. I just know that as soon as I press to go off, he's going to appear. I'm going to be like, nah. But he might not fly for another hour. Even if he doesn't fly for another hour, there's still more than enough time for him to head straight to the academy, do his medical, and have all the paperwork and everything in place. Because Man City will get all that paperwork all sorted whilst he's on his flight and making his way to Manchester. So, yeah. Yeah. So, I think, guys, I'm going to end the stream there. Unless there's anything else you want me to talk about, of course. If there is, then do let me know. If not, then we will move from there. No update on Sergi Altamara. So we'll see. We will see. Nicholas, I'm unfortunate. That's why I've gone live now. This is my available time that I've got. In a couple of hours' time, I might not be busy that I'd be able to do another stream. We would see. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. I don't want to say, oh yeah, I'll do that, and then I can't do that. That's letting people down. That's me promising when I can't promise. But I do have content that I need to prepare in anticipation that Nico Gonzalez is going to become a Manchester City player, which right now I'm expecting him to. Then I need to get all the stuff ready for that. So, football, I want to track his flight. There's no flight out there. If I could, I would. I'd be tracking him right now. Unfortunately, I can't because there's nothing in the air that I can see or that I'm aware of. I've got all eyes on Porto. We've still got that Istanbul to Porto flight and the Sao Paulo flight, and Seville's landed. But nothing at the mo. Yeah. No. Thoughts on Anthony's I didn't watch his debut, unfortunately. I heard he got an assist. So there you go. We could always ask Superman. We could always ask him. Not sure. Jean, is that flight number that you've just given me? Is that a flight that he's on? Is that in Porto? Is that in Portugal? Adrian, the Cambiaso deal hasn't failed. I think it's just Man City aren't interested in doing that deal today or in this window, which I think's a mistake. I'd like to have seen him at City this month, but they haven't. And that'd have to be negotiated. It's a very complicated deal to get done in hours. So I think City want to work on that. I did say a couple of weeks ago when I was speaking about the Cambiaso deal, to be fair, that Man City may be happy to continue their negotiations and transfer stuff heading forward past this window. So I wouldn't rule out Man City getting some kind of agreement and deal in place in a few weeks' time, ready for the summer. So Birdie, thanks for tuning in all the way from Uzbekistan. I'm sure cheering on City's newest, one of City's newest signings, Kodia Husanov. Welcome. I do hope you are well, my friend. So the Jets heading for Porto. And his thesis is that the jet may head to Manchester. Yeah, so it lands, gets refueled, and do you know that's a good theory? It's a strong theory. Let's have a look. 1 second. Give me a minute. Hey, do you know what? Guys? That's really interesting. Let me share the screen. So this is what Jean's on about. Berlin to Porto. Landing at 3:51 in less than an hour. It's not a million miles away. Porto's airport just... this one here. There's Braga. Which one is it? I think it's just this one where there's big planes over. Is Porto's airport. Let me just fact check that. Yeah. Wish that big plane would go away. Yeah. That one here. So this is where we're looking at. And you can see from the red line up here. It's not going to take it that long And by the time that it's landed and refueled, it could be ready to go again. Sky Sports have just said that AC Milan are close to agreeing a loan deal for João Felix. New post. Let's have a look. So Tell's joining Tottenham on loan. Coming from Florian Plettenberg. Straight loan until the end of the season. No obligations, no option to buy. Straight loan to get match practice because he doesn't want to commit long term to Tottenham Hotspur. How embarrassing. Cameron to join Rangers in the summer. Rangers have signed Dundee midfielder Lyle Cameron on a pre-contract agreement. There's a João Felix news. Wants a loan move to go to AC Milan. There's plenty of deals knocking around, isn't there? Plenty knocking around. Yeah. Right. I'm going to keep my eyes on planes in the meantime, and I think I'll let you know if I see any more knocking around. And what's going on? Oh no, it's over here. I thought that was a little plane. It's like, it's been fooling me old stream, that RTV4T. Anyway, our session's timed out. That does happen, guys. Just refresh, gives you another 30 minutes. There you go. You get another 30 minutes. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like there's too much happening, but I think something will happen in the next hour. And we'll see. Will it be Manchester? Will it be London? Will the medical be done in Portugal? Is something going to happen? We will wait and see. So, guys, I think I am going to end the stream there because I want to try and get some content for you guys sorted. So, don't forget, do leave a thumbs up on the stream. That would be much appreciated. What are we on now? We're on 224 likes. Let's go for 300 likes. 76 away. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you are new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. We are now less than 700 subs away from 42,000, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do also check out my social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries, and don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. That would be great. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you guys by SofaScore. We're going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores, along with the latest match information, match statistics, not just limited to football, by the way. It's got all the sports that you guys love to follow, all in one place, all in one app. So if you're wanting to stay up to date for the upcoming cricket season from the spring, SofaScore's got you covered. You want to stay up to date with a Super Bowl coming up, SofaScore's got you covered. Premier League of Darts, SofaScore's got you covered. It's got you covered with all the sports, so do go and check it out. Links and details there in the description. Remember, it is a free app to download. And a big thank you to SofaScore for sponsoring today's video. Any of you eagle-eyed viewers out there will have noticed that I copied and pasted the potential flight number that Jean gave me before, as I'd put that into the search on Flight Radar 24 and not putting in SofaScore's link. Naughty JSGC. I'll put that in the in the live chat now. Right, I'm going to give you guys an exclusive because I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but over the last few weeks, I've been keeping up to date with all the latest when it comes to shorter videos, because I know a lot of people are very busy. They don't have time to sit here and watch streams that have been live for over an hour, or they don't have time to watch 15, 20-minute transfer updates. So I do little short clips on my YouTube shorts, on my Instagram reels, on my TikTok, for example. All the links then, by the way, in the description. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an exclusive. I'm going to, right here, film my YouTube shorts, TikTok and Instagram reel video right now to keep you guys up to date. So I'd appreciate anybody checking that out, and you can all have an exclusive look at the videos. I'm going to film it right looking at the 2 cameras, and you guys can stay up to date. So I'll just lower it there so you guys can see. 3, 2, 1. And we do have the latest on Manchester City's pursuit of Nico Gonzalez. Transfer deadline day here in England, with the window shutting in roughly around 8 hours' time. Manchester City, though, with Fabrizio Romano backing, has said that City have got the here we go with the fee agreed. It's going to be the release clause of €60 million or £50 million, with Nico Gonzalez signing for Manchester City, very soon making his way to Manchester or the UK, wherever it will be, to do his medical and become a Manchester City player today. An ever-developing story, so stay tuned and stick around. But it looks like City finally going to add a defensive midfielder to their squad. Exciting times. There's your exclusive. Stay tuned for that. That will be up very soon on my social media. Right, guys, legends, each and every one of you, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Have a great day. I'll be back with a Manchester City transfer update in a few hours' time. I hope by the close of play today, I will be back again with another Manchester City video, formally welcoming Nico Gonzalez to Manchester City. So, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Have a great rest of your transfer deadline day. I have been JSGC. Take it easy, guys. Peace. Ciao for now.